Hey horse, you want some drugs today to run faster in the race so we can win? This is very unnecessary and needs to stop. So we're going to toss it away. I'm Emily Salmorn and I'm here to talk about the drugs used in sports. And the horse racing industry is very concerned about this problem. The drugs used to enhance a horse's performance will cause very deathly side effects to the horse if they're healthy as can be. They're pushing the horses to exceed their limits. If you had a slow horse, you're making it fast in a day. If you had a horse that didn't win, now it's winning in a day. And it brought concerns to many people because they realized that this is happening. I'm very familiar with the horse racing industry and the horses themselves. I am in that equine degree, and I wanted to bring this up for people to see the greed in winning. If any of you have been to a horse race in person, please drop it in the comments. I want to see. And I've personally been to Monmouth Park in New Jersey. Many of you may have seen on TV the Preakness Stakes, the Belmont Stakes, and the Kentucky Derby. But the next day, you'll realize you hear something on TV saying a horse owner or horse trainer is getting fined because they brought illegal drugs to the racing grounds and they gave it to their horse, and it put the horse's performance in an extra mode where it wasn't supposed to be. I wanted to give an example of this. Bob Baffert is a very familiar horse trainer and owner in the horse racing industry. He has owned American Pharoah and trained him in 2015, and he has trained Justify and Medina Spirit as well. Nothing is more important than the health and safety of the equine and human athletes, and nothing impacts their health and safety more than the policies, procedures, and concerning drugs, as stated by Bob Baffert himself. According to Baffert 2020 in the article The Dark Side of Baffert's Resign, in the text it gives an example of Baffert himself saying that this is a problem, this is a concern, but him himself did all the bad things. By the end of the year, President Donald Trump signed the law, the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act. This was another law to try to stop people from giving horses drugs that aren't meant to be, or that aren't affecting the horse for their own health and safety. It's just to enhance the horse's performance in a very bad way. The Dark Side of Bob Baffert's Resign in 2021. That was stated from. Derby Day, May, Medina Spirit failed a drug test, and then failed a second one, and a third. 30 tests were taken, and all were failed. Justify and Medina Spirit were two examples of Bob Baffert's horses that have failed too many drug tests and have brought an uprising to him to be fined for the unnecessary uses of drugs. After Medina Spirit's first positive test, Bob blamed cancel culture. What does that even have to do with that? Inside the doping scandal that rocked horse racing 2021. That was from. And in Chapter 8 of the Kentucky Derby Horse Rule Book, this states all the drugs and everything that can't be on the Kentucky Derby grounds at all to affect the athletes and to affect the horses. And this is a very good page. I don't want to bore everyone of all the lists and names of the drugs, but this shows that there is a ton of classifications from A to D, saying from A, the drugs that will be enhancing the horse's performance the most, and D, the least. This is a very good insight of all the drugs that can be most powerful and not as powerful. But it's a shame to see the horses are being used to gain money and not for their own power from themselves. So I wanted to see from you a show of hands, or comments as we would say. How many of you think this is all about greed and winning money? Sadly, it probably is, and drug usage in the horse racing industry needs to stop illegally and needs to be reasonable for when a horse is actually sick and needs medical help. Thank you.